The last curve is saturation versus saturation, and it's a very important curve to balance saturation within your image. The point here is to select all the colors that have a certain degree of saturation and change their saturation. So you're selecting according to the level of saturation and then changing the saturation. The curve comes with 2 points. On the left, it represents the least saturated. You can see it from the color black, which means no colors, no saturation if you like, or the least saturated. On the right is the most saturated. You can see it because you have white, it means you have colors here, so it is saturated. This curve can solve the big problem of balancing saturation within your frame. For example, if you come over and add saturation, you notice it's adding saturation to all the colors. The one that are oversaturated and the one that are saturated and the one that are not saturated. So actually it's a uniform increase, which doesn't work in this case. I will reset it. The way to solve the problem and to get a balanced saturation is to come over to the left where you have the least saturation and take it up. Don't take it up too much, just take it up over here. So what do you notice? You notice that certain colors that are not so saturated, you increase the saturation, like the lady over here. You then go to the most saturated, just on the right here. You click on it and take it down. So all the colors that are very saturated, we are going to take down the saturation. Don't take it down to the maximum because it will become now grayscale. Let's put it just in the middle here. So actually you decreased the saturation for the over-saturated and you increased the saturation for the undersaturated. And now somehow you have a balance here. If you now increase the saturation itself, you are almost increasing uniformly. Of course, you need to work on the curve here. So actually, saturation versus saturation will help you to balance the saturation within your frame. You can decrease the saturation on the oversaturated and increase the saturation on the undersaturated. Thank you. I will see you in the next lecture.